right, guys, welcome back to Four Guys,
One Film.
Gator, what the fuck was that?
Dude,
Come
he
on, I'm
was
gonna need some
not
more
there.
energy from you
Hey
today.
man,
He was not there.
Nah, man, it's been 3
Listen,
weeks.
listen. I don't want to even hear it. Let's get started.
Are you
So
gonna
today?
that wasn't loud enough, guys? I want to hear it again.
Oh my god! All right, so today we are reviewing the unbearable weight of immense talent.
Massive. Oh my
Massive.
God.
How did you
Oh
say
my
that
God.
wrong?
Is
Wait, was
this
it
like
wrong?
a
This
traditional
is-
thing where every time George hosts a movie, he has to get the name wrong?
He gets
Why
the
do we
title
always
wrong.
Fucking
choose
Secret
fucking
Life of Walter Mitty. I think.
Walter Schmitty.
Yeah, it was
And
like,
the thing is, he
I
cho-
choose
he's
long
choosing
ass
the
titles, bro. I don't know what it is.
yeah.
none of the rest of us had problems with the title.
I think
The
I have.
unbearable weight of.
massive talent.
That's what I said.
We
No,
should.
you said immeasurable. You fucking.
We should do a competition to see who chooses the longest and the shortest.
Hey, you can definitely see the college dropout in the room.
Hey, I
Hey,
do.
gonna choose
hey.
up.
Made it 3 years. All right.
It's pending. It's pending.
Yeah, bro.
It was like
All
one or
right,
two,
boys.
man.
What do you guys think? I quite enjoyed it, Gator. I know
Well,
you
I
fucking
mean,
hate
you
it.
know,
How-
wait,
wait,
who's in it? What's it about?
Wait,
you know?
can you start? Like, he could ask. He was asking us what we think, and then just fucking completely cut
No,
everybody out.
'cause-
He's like, "What do you guys think?" He's like, "Okay. What do you guys think about it?"
So I think Gator is gonna rip on this movie entirely,
dude,
but I
it's
think
gonna
this
be
movie
good.
was wholehearted. It was a bromance. It honestly focused on the relationship with Nicolas Cage and Javi.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. It was great. It reminds me of the dynamic that they had in like something similar, like End of Watch. Fucking fantastic. I loved
yeah.
it. I think it was wholehearted. It was nice. It was very just casual film. And it was also focusing on Nicolas Cage and his previous films
I
and what he's
mean,
done in the past.
This is Nick
It played
Cage.
an homage. Yeah.
This is Nicolas Cage playing Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
So how could you go wrong?
What can you hate about it? I
But
don't know.
apparently Isaac has a
I don't
lot
know,
of thoughts on this.
I don't, man, it just didn't connect with me. Maybe because like you guys we were laughing a lot in the background, right?
We weren't watching the
Yeah.
first half.
I don't know. Like I think maybe in the movie theater it might have been different, but like, or if I would have watched it by myself, it would have been different too. Like, but honestly, like this movie wasn't connecting, wasn't really holding my attention. I'm not saying this movie didn't have funny moments, but like after seeing some of the reviews online of what some people thought of, like more professional, like people. Like,
So you base your opinions on what others are saying? Okay.
No.
Fascinating.
No, no.
Hmm.
I don't base it.
Write that down. Okay.
It just felt like it was gonna have a much bigger presence than what I did, and I felt like sometimes I didn't feel like
All right, what fell flat about it for you?
flat. I think it was just like the boring moments when it was just Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal just not doing anything. Like the beginning moment where Pedro Pascal like fucking like has to save Nick Cage. I don't know, that part didn't like connect with me, man. Like
You don't relate with having to save Nick Cage?
No,
Like
I don't.
you haven't
No.
thought about doing that in your life? Maybe?
Honestly, I wouldn't
bros,
say if he was in.
you know.
I wouldn't save Nick Cage. I don't know.
Wow.
There's something about
fucking
Nick Cage that makes me want to save him. If I was in that situation, I mean, he likes movies. I like movies. He likes comic books. I like comic books. You know.
There you go.
No, yeah, I also think this film as a whole is like it's an homage to other films. Like it focuses.
It's an homage to all of his films.
Yeah.
Not just his films. There was a lot of references to like a million other films as well. So
All right, name one. Name one.
Name one.
the one with the doctor.
Piece of shit.
There was obscure German films that I don't know the fucking title to. It's like what?
If they're so obscure, how do you know about it?
Because I looked it up.
Bullshit.
IBDM.
Bullshit. This guy's such a poser.
Alexis, what was the name of the German film?
Which German film?
The one that he references,
It's the
Doctor
Cabinet
fucking
of
Calamari.
Doctor.
Dracula or something.
Doctor. Yeah.
Caligari.
It's Calamari.
Calgary.
Some
Calamari. Calamari.
That's what his daughter says. Yeah.
something stupid. Like I don't know, man.
Well, I think it's funny because, the film is like working on a few different levels because it's Javi who's trying to get Nick Cage to get to do his movie, right?
Yeah.
But that's what the director did, right? He kept like sending him like offers and a letter to like get Nick Cage to do his movie with them. And then in the
Yeah.
movie, they're talking about writing a script, and the script is essentially the
Them
movie that
trying
we're
to
watching.
Get Nick Cage in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's the movie playing out, and people loved it.
Right. And it's like back in the theater, like a movie within a movie.
Well, I do have a question though. Is Javi was he actually a drug dealer or a warlord of some kind?
No.
What the
he
fuck are you
wasn't.
talking
He
about?
wasn't.
Catch that?
Bro, did you watch the movie?
I don't
So
know.
his dad was, right?
Yeah.
And so what happened was once his dad passed away, his cousin.
No, I understand that.
Well, why
part.
is Nick
no,
sound so
I'm just,
fucking sexy right now?
What I'm saying is like,
He's
well,
playing
maybe,
the Javi right now.
maybe they just did that for like plot contents of the movie.
No. The whole point was that
Okay.
he was
Nick
just supposed
is
to be like
playing
a
Javi?
figurehead, right?
Yeah.
Because basically the idea was that I forget what his cousin's name was. I don't know why I want to think it's Pedro, but just because that would have been funny. But
a Spanish name.
Okay,
But,
can we see what name? What was his name?
But either way, so what the whole point was, he wanted to have Javi play a very.
It was Lucas.
Lucas. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Lucas wanted Javi to play like a figurehead in the operation. So he was like, I want you and the world and everybody else to believe truly that you are the head of this criminal organization, so that I can run things in the background. And kind of similar to that other Italian mob boss who nobody's seen in 15 years, people might know who Lucas is, but they're not suspecting him of being anywhere near the top or the actual person running the
The
operation.
big boss.
No, I understand.
But
that.
no, so Javi was just placed. He was not involved.
No. I understand that. I'm just saying maybe since the way I don't know, maybe I'm interpreting the movie wrong, but maybe Javi was just some rich dude that sat down with Nicolas Cage. They made a movie and then somehow translated that, like, for them it was just them. He was just playing out the movie. As
Oh, are you saying about the end scene where?
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember they switched out his
Demi
ex-wife
Moore
and
and
the
stuff.
the daughter.
I know, but that
So-
was like just the final product, you know?
No, I mean, I
Yeah.
think
I
I
don't
can
know.
understand the interpretation, but I think for me,
Isaac
it
sounds
It made
confused.
sense.
Isaac sounds
That-
confused.
He
Am I
just
busting
doesn't
your
want to
balls?
admit he doesn't
Am I
know what the
busting-
fuck.
No, I'm not confused. I'm just wondering if it's like.
I think you were just not paying attention, bud. But
Oh,
I can
shit.
see how you would have that interpretation. But no, because them replacing.
I don't think
the
this is the type of
ex-wife
movie that
and-
has an interpretation.
I'm
You know?
trying to.
I don't think it's that
the
kind of
thing is,
movie.
It's
I'm trying to
pretty
find. I'm
straight
trying to
cut,
find.
bud.
I'm trying to find something that I liked about this.
Right.
Movie. It'd be interesting. That'd be an
Well,
interesting.
let's just
plot
give it like a synopsis for
Right.
people at home. I mean,
Yeah, we should have done this earlier.
I
Usually
mean,
that's
we
how
can
we
start
start.
right in the middle, but no, yeah, it's Nick Cage. He's washed out. He's an actor. He's running out of money, and then he
No,
says
he ran out of money.
He basically ran out of money. He owed fucking the hotel, who knows, like $600,000 in the hole.
Crazy.
So he's basically finding ways to make additional money, and he's saying he's retired, all this shit. And then Javi hires him for $1 million to come to his estate and hang out with him.
And I think
And then-
a big thing you want to add though is that he obviously wants to leave an impending or lasting like legacy
Mhm.
for himself. So he very clearly in the beginning is like turning down anything and explicitly going for anything that actually pushes his stardom and his fame, but like sets himself apart from like just a regular action star, like another Dwayne the Rock Johnson. kind of deal.
like that scene where he approached the director and then he did that whole.
Yeah,
like,
because he was like,
fucking
I believe he's like, oh, this looks like it's influenced by so many amazing films, and he's like, and what you wrote, like that's what he was chasing and going for, and that's where he had a little tantrum, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna retire. He's like, I couldn't possibly be in another Crudes 2 type situation.
He's busting in Tarantino, dude. He's just like, all right, this is my last film. I want to leave my legacy intact.
Exactly.
Perfect. Just nothing to it. No, yeah, and then Javi hires him for $1 million to come to his estate. Javi's sole purpose is he wants him to star in his film. And he has the script all written out, everything for him. And then the tables turn into a whole thing where the CIA is involved. Javi's
Drug.
It looks like it's a head, of a cartel kingpin, but
Yeah.
the reality is it's his cousin running everything.
It's
in
always the
background.
cousin. Be
And
careful.
then Nick Cage
Be
basically
careful.
starts embodying all these different characters that he's played in the past in his previous movies, and he's getting to kind of like live them through this.
I mean,
you know?
there's multiple scenes where he's literally having a conversation with the younger version of himself.
yeah, make it
Nikki.
knacking.
I didn't like the de-aging that they did for the younger
his
versions of
upper
him.
lip
It looked
looks
weird.
It's the upper lip.
Yeah,
It's the upper
they
lip.
they did a fucking Superman like CGI edit. Like when they
I
took
mean,
his mustache
de-aging
off.
in general though, it's still pretty fresh. even
No, that's
today.
not true. They've done de-aging really well. Indiana Jones, they did fantastic.
But
with,
Indiana
Some
Jones came out.
scenes.
Indiana Jones came out after.
Yeah,
one.
this was like
did
last
this?
year.
No,
Yeah.
this was 2022. 2022. This is
22?
very.
Yeah,
2
Indiana
years
Jones
ago.
came out last year.
What?
Indiana
This
Jones
came
did
out
not.
last year?
Dial of Destiny.
Oh, Indiana Jones. Yeah, that was last year.
No,
Yeah.
but wasn't there another one previous to that? They did de-aging.
Kingdom
as well?
of the Crystal Skull. That was like 10 years ago.
With
No.
Shia LaBeouf?
They,
Well, I
they
mean-
de-aged him in that one too.
No, they
Wait,
just hired Shia
I'm gonna
LaBeouf.
bust the George. In Marvel movies, they always do de-aging.
Yes, they
No,
do.
Wait, it
They
doesn't
also
look
do
good though.
de-aging.
We've
But-
always been highly critical of them.
Plus,
de-aging.
we're-
All right,
again,
so how about Genocide? No,
What?
Genesis Man?
Genocide?
Genesis Man, whatever. The fucking
Gemini Man.
Gemini Man. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
but
Yeah.
again, we're talking about a $30 million budget versus like
That's
hundreds
like over
of
100
millions.
mil.
So yeah, they probably
Mm.
they probably went for the lackluster cheap version because they were more trying to show him off as a weird entity anyway, right?
Mhm.
He's not real. So they didn't really necessarily need it to be like Gemini Man, where it was a younger version of Will Smith looking at each
Yeah.
other.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think this movie is just a giant gag movie of his own life. I can see why he.
No, it's
projected
literally
It is
that's
a gag
what it is. I don't
movie.
think it's
It
supposed
is.
to be taken that
Yeah.
seriously. It's
Because
legitimately
It's meant
making-
to be enjoyed because it's
Mhm.
lighthearted and funny and weird and
Mhm.
wacky.
And it's
not
kind of
meant-
cool that Nick Cage can do a parody of his own life and
Yeah,
be
not
okay
a lot
about
of
I
it.
think also
big
he
people
has
would
such
do
a
that.
big, like almost, like I don't want to say ego because it feels like he wouldn't have taken this movie if he really had.
Yeah,
an ego
that's
like
this
that.
feels
Yeah.
like the
But-
opposite of ego.
Exactly.
Because you're making fun of yourself.
No, but that's what everyone feels like Nick Cage is.
Exactly. I
But
agree
he's
with
not,
that.
which is I'm like that's great. I'm glad
Yeah.
he took it, and he was just kind of like it's like a little laugh,
Yeah.
like he's like this is
the
funny.
concept, it kind of reminds me a little bit, and not because like they're alike at all, but just Being John Malkovich. You guys ever see that one?
No,
I haven't. I gotta
You know
watch
what?
that one.
No,
No, that
Being
one's-
John Malkovich.
That one I need to watch it. It's
yeah,
on the
that
list.
one's really interesting. Cameron Diaz is in it.
What are the similarities? What is
It's just like I mean, John Malkovich is in the movie, but it's like this guy who can be inside the body of John Malkovich, and so he like there's like this whole thing going on about these two people, and it's kind of hard to describe into words, but I think it's a movie that we should watch.
okay.
Maybe put on the
Good
list.
suggestion.
It'll be on the
No,
list.
this was also for me was similar to like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because like Leo has to portray an actor that's like washed out and then like his legacy's starting to die and he starts to feel like he's no longer being able to grasp it, and that's actually what's happening to kind of Leo. Like now he's getting older,
Yeah.
he's no longer like the fucking young
Hey.
hotshot in Hollywood.
Yeah, I've seen Leo in person. He looks fucking good. Okay.
Yeah, but
That's
he's
a
also
lot.
we
Looks
we
good.
can't.
You're not 25 anymore. He doesn't
Yeah, no,
want
but
to
that's
be
what I'm saying.
wait,
You
wait,
can't
wait.
disagree that he's not getting older. Like he's just fucking.
He's not getting old.
When did you
He's-
see Leo in person?
Like in January.
How far though?
I don't know how far were we, Andre? Like a few rows away.
So like minimum 40 feet.
Minimum 20 feet. Yeah, minimum 20 feet. Like
You-
Scorsese was there, De Niro was there. Right.
I don't know, man.
You,
Anybody can look good from 20 feet away, man.
Yeah, bro.
whatever, bro.
Wait, what? That was Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, I went to screening of
Oh,
Killers. so-
nice. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, a little shout out.
No, but yeah, I feel like it's similar to that where it's almost like it's so fucking meta that whole aspect.
Yeah,
but
it is very meta.
it worked well. I feel like
I think so
because
too.
I feel like he didn't take it too seriously, and then he was reprising all those roles, and then also the fucking scene where he makes out with his younger self. Like what the fuck? It's literally him like giving himself a big.
Because Nick
smooch.
Cage smooches good.
He does smooch good.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Now, would you guys kiss a younger version of yourself?
No.
Absolutely. All fucking day.
How
Let's
young?
go, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're
That's the deciding factor for you.
if it's too young, then it's a problem, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Maybe we're not old enough for this
Yeah,
question.
We're not there yet, dude.
We're not-
Because he went 20 years younger, and I'm having a problem with that.
Yeah. But
No.
Isaac has a lot to say.
I
All right,
do-
so
all right,
give me some
all
points,
right,
Isaac.
all right,
It's like,
all right,
all right,
George.
it's a lighthearted film, like you
Okay.
said.
No,
It's
no,
supposed
okay.
to be enjoyed. It's very just casual.
Like, Pedro
viewing.
Pascal's so lovable.
Oh my
Why
God,
do you
I
hate him?
love
Why do you
him.
hate him?
I don't hate him. I never said I hate him. I just don't like the overall.
Just don't like
he
him.
hates him. He hates him.
No, I like him, man.
What do you hate about Pedro, bro?
He
What about
In this
when
movie,
In
though. In
Narcos, he
this
was
movie.
fantastic.
yeah.
He was really
He was
good.
good.
He was
Me?
good, but he wasn't like a main character for most of
He
it.
Bro,
was literally
He was
the
the
main
co-star.
character.
No, it was
Yeah.
fucking. Well, we're not gonna talk about it.
Boyd
All right, how
Holbrook.
about Last of Us?
I haven't seen last.
Oh,
one.
that's
I don't-
a
fucking
I don't
nut.
care for it. I don't care
Get
for
the
it.
Wow.
fuck outta
I
here.
wanted to watch it with you guys. but
And
you
you're a
guys said no.
gamer too. What the fuck, bro? Like,
I don't like role playing games like that, man.
You like to role play though.
I
Yeah,
do.
that's
that's
true.
different.
You should
That's- I'm
play.
in it.
That's
you know?
different.
Yeah, it's different. All right, George, why did you choose this movie? Honest,
No, like I said, it's a good bromance. I think it's
That's
lighthearted.
not telling me why you
it's
chose the
fun.
movie, though.
It's Nick Cage.
It's got
like
a
I
long
said.
ass title.
that he
It's
can't
got-
fucking
I
he can't pronounce
I can't
it
remember,
or say it.
I can't remember long titles.
We're,
so I
we're
always
gonna make
forget.
you say it later. on
I'm
in
a
this
visual
podcast.
learner. I'm a visual
Yeah,
learner.
he's
Yeah.
all about visual.
Okay,
Yes.
but like, but what was the main thing that like
That stood out. I don't know. I really like Pedro Pascal. I think he's fucking America's sweetheart.
He's-
Also,
he's not
the
even
fact
American.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
he is
He's
now
Chilean.
Chilean
All right.
American.
It's Chilean
Oh,
American.
he's Chilean American.
Yeah.
Well,
When
you
did he get
can't-
his American
You can't have two,
citizenship?
Alexis?
He was born here, dude.
No, he wasn't.
Is it? Check it.
Continue.
No, but also just Nick Cage, and like when I originally watched it, I loved it. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I also think that like it's not a hard watch. It's easy to digest, and like there's nothing really that I would change. I think it did its job well. it had a very, I mean, 30 million. I feel like that's super low budget for today's films, and then also
It is.
I think it had great just visuals, action sequences, storyline. It was meta. It just worked well for me.
Yeah,
really
I mean,
enjoyed it.
dude, I really agree with you. I mean, I know Isaac's gonna shit at this on this film in a few minutes probably.
Yeah.
But
Sooner.
or sooner. Yeah, he might cut me off
Wait,
in a
why is
second.
he-
It's me talking.
Yeah, like, but why is he considered Chilean American if he was born in?
He probably has a
Citizenship. now.
citizenship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
He's so focused on. He's like, all right, show me the green card, Pedro.
Yeah. Wait, he is an American.
Yeah. All right.
in South America doesn't make you an American.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was saying was, this film for me, what I really like about it more than anything is like just how lighthearted it is, but it's still like not so like turn your brain off and just like kind of like kids movies, if I will. Like we watched Master of Disguise. We talked about how for some of us that film is so great because
We
you can
experienced Master of Disguise.
Yes.
Exactly. Some of us lack the experience to really understand it. But regardless, like that one, you turn your brain off and there's nothing really to get. You just fucking see a goofy movie that's fun and makes you, laugh and makes you forget about the hard parts of your life or the more difficult times of your life. This movie, while it is similar, it also does have like so much meta commentary. It also talks like you're watching him develop not only himself and like his persona, but like this movie with Javi, which is, oh shit, we're in that movie with Javi. And so like it's a little bit more complicated. It's a little bit more complex than just like a standard goofy movie, but there's so many lighthearted parts throughout the whole thing. I don't know. I think this is a great film. I remember going to the movie theaters and watching with you, Alexis. And
Yeah,
it was just fun
that
as
was
hell.
fun.
We're just busting up the whole
I
time.
also just love how much they fucking love movies and like
Yeah.
because you can genuinely see like Nick Cage is probably a huge movie fan. Like he
Yeah, absolutely.
fucking
Comes from a movie
That-
family.
I mean, he's made
Yeah.
like 104 films and
doesn't
actually
tell
more
you.
than that, maybe 110 films.
Really?
Maybe this is his
He's done so
104th
many
film.
fucking films.
I think this. If I had to guess a number, I'd say 104th.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. That's a good guess.
Yep.
That's a solid guess.
I love the scene where they're at the table and it basically Javi's trying to bring the family together, and then Nick Cage's apology is basically saying like, but you guys wouldn't want to stop me from flourishing, right? And fulfilling my passion as a fucking creative, and then he turns it all
as a
around and makes it
thespian.
about him. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is fucking
And
spot
I
on
love
for
that,
Nick
like,
Cage.
it's even like Javi shitting him. He's like, no, yeah, that was the worst fucking apology I've
Yeah,
ever heard in
he's
my
like,
life.
that
Like,
was
that was
atrocious.
trash.
Yeah.
I think you know what. I think this is my issue with the film was that it's very funny when it is funny, and they should have kept going with that. But then there were moments where they try to be like action-y,
And it, was,
And-
it became dry.
and it dragged with those parts.
But I think, like, literally, that's kind of the, it sucks because the point is, like, they made a huge comment on that in the beginning. It's like, no, this is a dramatic thing about two, like, mature and sensitive men. And then they started talking about the fact that, oh, we need a box office draw. So, yeah, it'll end action-y, and that's what will keep people coming.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we saw that it was only 29 million.
It
it
didn't
didn't happen
keep-
for them.
Yeah.
It didn't work. The action sequences didn't work. For them
and that's
because it
why
didn't
that's
appeal
why
to
I
the
think they
general
should have
audience.
just kept it as
Yeah.
a full blown comedy.
But I will say, like,
I agree
I
with
didn't,
Alexis. I think
I
that
didn't
would've worked
hate
a
the
lot better.
action sequences in this one compared, because I feel like even the action sequences gave off kind of more of like the still Nick Cage vibe. It didn't seem like he was embodying or becoming one of his characters as like other films. Like he was still very much Nick Cage doing action sequences.
No,
know?
I think during the action films, it really felt like Nick Cage transforming into one of the characters that felt comfortable for him to draw in those moments. Because him personally doesn't want to fucking do that. It's when he kind of puts his mind away and like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna activate this part of the brain of like my active brain, and I'm playing a role, and I got to do this. It's not scary. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna hurt. Like that's kind of how I see it when he was doing action scenes. That's
Well, even because like for me, when he started becoming Salvador, like or whatever the other mob boss,
Oh yeah,
he didn't really become
was
a
it
character.
Sergio?
Sergio.
He was Italian. I don't know.
Or some Italian fool, but he just like didn't feel like he was pretending to be any one of his characters. Like I know at the end when he grabs the gun, he starts citing the fucking the reading that he did, like, which makes me feel like he wanted to be Mark Wahlberg, like with the Boston accent and shit. But and then he grabs the gun. He's like in 14 nanoseconds or whatever.
Oh yeah,
And starts saying he's like
Yeah.
and
that
then
monologue.
yeah, the little monologue that he does. But that just seemed again that wasn't a movie he's actually played in. That was a read that he did because he wanted to be part of a movie. So that was still very much like I'm Nick Cage, bitch, kind of deal. And then like
Yeah.
did the actual shot and like the little sequence he had.
I don't know, because for me, I'm gonna go a little crazy right now.
Go crazy.
Right now, this movie is a 6 out of 10 for me.
Whoa, buddy.
I'm going off script, and like honestly, like you guys
might work.
You guys need to convince me.
So crazy.
You guys need to convince me right now that this is like not what I think. It
I
is.
mean, I don't love this movie. Like,
I'm not saying you do, but I'm just saying like
I'm not the one that's gonna convince.
I think
you.
it's a good movie. I think that it's either you love it or hate it. But the reality is, it's very simple. Like it's the plot is making fun of itself.
It's like, bro, like
really just
you go to Denny's, you want some pancakes, bacon and eggs, boom.
You know what
that's
you're gonna get.
You know what you're gonna get.
No, but this is like okay.
And then you can't like it if you don't like breakfast.
No, but
that's just what it is.
I'm not a big breakfast guy, but
we
no,
reached
but look, here's the thing.
conclusion.
Like,
I actually don't like breakfast either. But this movie is dinner for me.
These feel like soggy pancakes to me. Like,
but soggy
like
because they're soaked.
Like
with
it could
maple
still,
syrup?
yeah, exactly. It could still
or
be
soggy
good.
like you had 4 guys play soggy waffle on a pancake. And
no,
that's what you gotta
soggy is
eat.
like the guy just like half cooked them because he was in a hurry and put it on there.
It wouldn't be soggy then. It'd be like
No, it'd be mushy because have you never made pancakes?
dude, I'm known for making pancakes.
You say that, but like I've never seen you make pancakes.
But soggy implies that it's wet and moist.
Yeah, I'm
so
saying it's
mushy.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
it'd be mushy.
It'd be okay. Technicalities over here,
All right,
buddy. Okay?
all right, my friend. I take
I'm
pancake
more of
making
a
seriously.
Waffle guy myself, but
Yeah, I know, Blue.
George
Alright.
is like, stop, dude.
The most Nick Cage thing I'm fucking reading right now is that he has a son named Kal-El. What a fucking
Well, do you know why his last name is Cage?
Because he's trapped.
No, because he's a fan of Luke Cage, the superhero, the Marvel
Oh.
superhero.
Oh, shit.
So
Is
he
it
changed.
actually?
So I think he legally changed
So
it to
somehow,
Cage.
what I'm hearing is that George still found a way to make us do something Marvel related.
Yeah, he did.
God damn you.
I'm not even that
Jesus
big of a
Christ.
Marvel fan. You guys read more comics and anything than I do. What the
doesn't-
fuck?
Yeah, but you're a fake fan, so you bring it up as
This
your only
doesn't
point
track.
of interest.
No. I like the movies. I don't like the comics as much as you
Wow,
guys do.
exactly. Fake fan.
Fake fan.
Fake fan. He doesn't even read. We were talking about this
Alexis,
earlier.
you literally told me you stopped reading comics because you
Maybe I'm back. Well, I mean, I still read the ones I have. So
There's only so many
stopped
times
buying
you can
new
read them,
ones.
Alexis.
He's like, maybe I look him up on fucking free apps.
free comics.
He's like, that's my retirement plan. That's my 401k. The stacks of comics. Okay, so I don't know. I think I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like fucking love this movie. I watched it once before this, and I quite enjoyed it. Watching it the second time around, I definitely see I did enjoy it. I mean, it's not my favorite fucking movie in the world.
elegant.
It was very elegant.
It was
hilarious.
nice. It was nice. It hit the palate right. But the second time around, I definitely see like there's certain aspects where I'm like, oh, the rewatchability on this maybe isn't that great. But seeing it one time, I'm like, I enjoyed it a lot, and I would definitely recommend it to somebody that hasn't seen it. Also, that likes movies, that likes the whole just meta thing, and then also a movie that can make fun of itself, as well as Nick Cage. He's literally like the whole fucking thing. The butt of the joke is that he has too much of a fucking ego, and he's willing to acknowledge that and put that aside. I feel like to make a movie that's just fucking funny and quirky, and then
I
that
don't
works
know,
well.
man. This maybe because you guys were in the room, but it just wasn't holding my attention.
Do you know what I was going to mention?
You
that-
love it
he,
too
he
much,
kept
kid.
staring at me.
This is something that
he
I'm
was over there
starting to
giving
feel
Alexis
with like
smooches.
not just this film, but like other films that we've watched. Like I talked about like Valentine's Day just recently happened. I try to watch the whole Before trilogy with my girlfriend because we really love those films.
You're welcome.
We enjoyed them. Yeah, thank you for letting me borrow them, Alexis. But
hasn't returned him. He's upset.
I was hoping to get him back today.
He's gonna look through the disc and he'd be like, "There's a scratch on this one around
they're
this
sticky, if you know what I mean.
You're gonna have to buy me this again.
Blu-ray." And he's like, "Good luck finding the physical copy."
You're gonna have to
somewhere."
buy me a PS5.
Yeah, a whole piece and have one of the discs in there already. But anyway, like that was an example of like movies that I think I can see my first watch with Alexis having been in a quiet theater where you're not getting interrupted, where you've already literally invested money into like being in a scenario to watch movies. You've put yourself in a mental space to watch it. Same thing for this one, right? The first time we watched it in theaters, like you didn't know what it was going to be. Like I knew this time.
It's exciting, it's a Nick Cage movie.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's going to be a cool Nick Cage movie, and then you're watching this, and all these jokes are landing for the first time ever, versus something where Isaac's here. It's like we were just getting ready to eat. We were sitting down, talking for a bit, as the film's going on, and you're kind of you're already missing a little bit of like the opening stupidities and shenanigans.
That's a good point, because I think the movie theater experience really elevates the film like 100 times.
A million,
you know,
times,
because like I you know, we saw Cure like a few months ago, and the energy wasn't like there. And then I saw Cure like 2 weeks ago in the movie theater in LA, and it was fucking incredible. I was like, holy shit! Like, why did I doubt this movie? And so I do think that when you're fully focused,
it was us.
No,
it was us.
I think you guys suck. But when you're fully focused,
he pointed at you guys on the opposite side of the couch.
because Nick
not
understood.
me.
Nick understood.
He gets it. He gets it.
So
All
what
right.
you guys are trying to say, you guys on tonight, you guys ruined my movie experience of watching this.
Absolutely.
You know what? Yes,
No,
I think so.
We potentially did. I think we were talking the entire time. I'm not saying, oh shit, this would have been the best movie ever, and you would have loved it.
Like,
But I think you would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
But we've talked about this before on the pod. Like, super important part of this podcast is to understand that not every fucking film is always going to be watchable in theaters. And so, like, that's what I'm trying to say. Where you guys, you're talking about like your experience.
Yeah.
This movie has two different watching experiences. If you can find it in theaters, or if you can find yourself in like a really quiet and really dedicated mindset to not look at your phone, to not talk to your partner or your friend or whoever's there with you, like, you're gonna enjoy the shit out of this. And then we've talked about this other facet too, where it's like, if you can get a bunch of people together, all of a sudden a funny movie becomes a hilarious movie, you know? An action, like if you watch it by yourself, just understand you're watching a fucking movie by yourself.
It goes back to the thing that, like, I think we've talked about before with like stand-up. You can't just watch stand-up on your own. It's like the audience effect is real.
crazy.
It's weird. It's like you're in a movie theater, somebody else giggles, and then you're like, oh, that kind of was funny, and then you just like join
I'm like,
in.
bro, that guy's fucking laugh is annoying as shit.
No,
Jesus.
but not even just laughter, but like certain things are contagious. You know, when
Right.
Your buddy
or
farts
you're
in the
COVID-19.
or you watch a movie that you really enjoy, and then you're waiting for them to like see the big reveal or the plot twist, and you just kind of like.
I was Nick over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what'd you guys watch?
The Before trilogy.
Oh, okay. Wait, she hadn't seen it before?
No, she hadn't seen it before.
How's she liking it so far?
She's liked it. She's just not liked me. It's the whole like, you gotta shut the fuck up and watch this part, you know? And like,
Focus.
we were trying not to do that with this. Like, there was a couple times where I was like, guys, get back to like the movie.
Yeah, he was.
Because what I didn't want was for us to like realize, oh shit, we didn't watch the first 20 minutes of the movie. We got to start over. You know, like, I wanted us to be able to just experience. I don't care if we talk through it, you know, because I talk through it all the time too. But just to the point where like Isaac kept saying, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Like, I was like, well, that's a problem.
Yeah, no. And then he also did bring up a valid point. Like, some of the side characters, it's like, oh shit, they're forgettable as fuck. Like the whole CIA
Like, what the fuck was
going on?
Tiffany Haddish doing?
Dude, honestly,
She was pretty lame.
You know what's so funny is like, but when you had first said that, I was like, no, I was about to make a comment about Tiffany Haddish not being so stupid in this film. The more I watched it, I was like, yeah, like, they just serve no purpose.
Yeah, they were annoying.
No,
they just like died really, really
the
fast.
worst fucking CIA agents ever. They're making him do all the dirty work.
See, like,
they're making him
I think I would have preferred this
putting his
movie
life at risk.
if that CIA portion of it was actually serious. Like, it was an actual CIA guy trying to do all this stuff, and the only reason that they needed Nick Cage was because he was inside the compound. I think that would have changed the dynamic of what was going on. But like, I feel like Nick Cage was trying to be himself with Pedro Pascal trying to love Nick Cage, right? Who wouldn't? And then you have like all this like quote unquote funny things happening around it. So it gave like mixed signals of what the movie needed to be. Instead of like I said, if it was a comedy full through, I think would have been a much better movie overall.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, like I completely agree with that thing. And like, if instead of like actually like Nick Cage going into his serious like acting action, like, you know, like him trying to do
Like
his
by
act.
the end.
Yeah, like it didn't connect. And I think if it was just funny and him trying to like if he did like he just funnily did like his role, because it's like he just went into stress mode. Like, I'm just gonna click into actor, and it was just something like him.
Like going full Ghost Rider, you know, when he's like transforming, just going crazy,
Yeah.
crazy Cage.
Yeah, like I think if I would have seen Crazy Cage in this movie, it would have been great instead of just like a normal dude Cage.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you know what? That is a good point. I think he really like underplayed himself, like trying to be like a normal guy.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why there was like scenes where like the younger version of himself, he's like fucking the whole scene where his like
Yeah.
eyes are like
Yeah,
bulging,
it's
and he's
crazy.
like, what is that? Where's that from? I'm
But-
like, that
but
looks
I think
familiar, but-
probably. I think it was from
It was.
Vampire's
I think
Kiss.
it's Wicker
But,
Man.
but
No?
you know,
I don't know.
You know what I think would have been hilarious if they would have used old man's Cage face trying to be a younger version of himself. So he still had like I think that would have been funnier. Like
See,
again,
where were you in the writing room? huh?
exactly. Like instead of him trying to like de-age him, and it looks like now I'm focused on his upper lip, look like all the clipping that was going on his upper lip, and I don't even focus on what he's actually saying. Especially like if you're watching that, I don't know why I don't know. For me, like I'm very visual, and if I know
Just like George.
it distracts me.
Oh, it's just because I can't read.
That's
But
the
no,
reason.
hey, if it's one thing that came out of this that you will take from this film,
It's a meme.
it's Paddington 2.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
meme.
yeah, the meme.
I'm like I don't know what
Dude,
that
there's
is.
a lot.
Hey, Paddington 2, dude. They put me on to.
That's what I was trying
Paddington
to say. Like this movie, yeah, 100% agreed. Not supposed
It's
to be
so
taken seriously,
memeable,
but
too.
it's just like fucking stupid, funny moments.
Well, I only think like 10 minutes of it was memeable, and it's when they were on acid.
That was best.
That
Yeah.
okay.
was
I
the
can't
best. That
wait
gave
to
us the
talk about our
infamous-
favorite films or scenes
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they gave us the infamous, like
The staring at each
with,
other.
with Pedro just fucking his pupils dilated,
Yeah. That I think that if they would have like the acid scene the whole way through, I think it would have been a much better movie, and I think it would have been cheaper since spend money on stupid CGI. It would have been easier to film too because I'm like they could actually let loose a little bit. And I think Pedro Pascal is an actor, even though I know he's a really serious actor, he plays really well into the comedy aspects of things.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
He's a funny
He should
guy.
do it more often.
And,
It's
and
crazy.
if Nick Cage would have been crazy Nick Cage and he would have acted that way or probably just been himself, it would have
Yeah.
been a much better movie.
I think that is Nick. being
No,
himself,
it's not.
Nick Cage.
It's not.
Dude,
No?
he's historically
No.
crazy, dude. Like he does weird shit.
Yeah.
He's unhinged. What the I mean,
Doesn't he have like a grave stone in Louisiana?
Some
Like,
shit like that.
Just because he like partied so hard he like fuck shit up on Mardi Gras over there like so bad that they were like you have to be buried here to bring in tourists to bring in money to this place because you were just fucking way too wild.
Jesus, that's
Something like
amazing.
wait. So he agreed to that, or the Louisiana did that just because they're like,
I
hey,
think
you partied too hard.
I don't know what the story is, but I think he agreed to it. Like gave money and like now there's
Yeah.
tourists just going to go see his gravestone,
Like, he-
even though he's still alive.
What the
you know?
fuck?
Like I think there was like he's just spent like weird shit, like weird amount of money on weird shit.
It kind of reminds me of Michael Jackson, how he would just like spend crazy
But-
amounts of money
because
on
he got
everything.
he got that amount of money. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't need to like he didn't need to do this.
Well, I
stuff.
mean,
Let's
how many movies has he done? Like
104.
104?
Well, 104 at that point, so he's probably out like over 110 or something,
That's
115.
fucking
Because there was a time where he was just making all these like direct-to-video movies back to back just to pay off whatever debts he had, you know.
Yeah.
Let's write a script for Nick. He'll join. He'll do it. Nick Cage, if you're watching,
I'll do it. I guess
Yeah.
I'll do
we're
it.
gonna do
we
an
need you,
indie
Nick.
film.
It was me that you meant. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I think this movie had a lot of potential and it was. I think they had a good formula going. If they would have just like
Yeah.
it would have been funny instead of like just trying to like.
Okay, but just blatantly hate on it. I get some aspects of it.
I
but
don't-
mean, it wasn't too bad.
No,
Like,
like,
Some here's I want to give some unadulterated love. I mean, you guys mentioned it. This is one of Pedro Pascal's best fucking things he's ever done. Like by
yeah, no.
like because I could see him like from Narcos all the way to The Last of Us. I know he can play a serious character. I know he can play someone who's dealing with the fucking hard thing to do, and he has to grab a child and take her somewhere. You know,
Take her.
like you're capable of fucking shooting a gun. But in this one, like, just like you even were saying, like, oh my god, he's acting so terribly. But the thing that was upsetting me was like
Yeah.
he's acting like he doesn't know how to do
Yeah,
that.
he's literally pretending.
He's like
he's
trying to
he's
get
a
Nick
fuck-
Cage. Like, oh, there's a person over there. Oh no! Like, please come out of your shell, kind of deal, right? Like, and like he was trying to like pretend like he was still like fangirling and goofing, and then towards the end, like it just literally feels like he's not even Pedro Pascal. He's just some guy who genuinely loves Nick Cage.
But
Like, you know what I mean?
No, I
Like,
love the switch up. I
but
love the
I
switch
didn't
up.
like the fact that he was. I think if you just would have been Pedro Pascal, like fangirling a little bit.
But I think the reason why he couldn't, in my like, because he literally was playing someone who was like the number one Nick Cage fan, like of all time, like with that fucking little what's it called, that room he had with all the memorabilia and stuff. Like you don't get to that level unless like you're the type of person that you meet your idol,
You're a
and at
freak.
first you're at least gonna be like jittery and like awkward. Like at the very beginning, he doesn't even know what to say to him. He's like, "Do you mind if I join you?" It's like, it's your fucking house.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
You do whatever you want. Like you invited me here. I'm just your guest. And like that's where like his love interest, Javi's love interest, she had to like tell Nick Cage like, hey, you're going to like hanging out with this guy. Because he's not going to tell you to your face. He's not going to talk to you about it. But he fucking gave you $1 million to come here. So do things with him. And that's when they started
it was
everything.
borderline obsessive fucking stalker.
Oh, absolutely.
Fangirl.
I have
But
a
it was
question. I have a question. You know, this guy was crazy for Nick Cage. Who are you guys crazy for?
Oh shit, Pedro Pascal.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what? Actually, like
No,
dead
on a
ass-
serious note.
I'd hang
serious
out
note.
with
on
him
a
all
serious
day.
note, I
Fuck
think
yeah.
I think I could see
100%.
Pedro Pascal because he like even seeing him in interviews and stuff like that, he seems like such a cool guy.
Yeah.
Like everybody thinks that, like I remember like a couple years ago, like younger, I'd think like Dwayne the Rock Johnson or Kevin Hart are so cool, but now knowing their persona outside,
oh
it's
my
like
God.
they'd be timing it to the seconds how much time they have to spend to make a wish with you just so they can leave to do a fucking business venture or something else.
It's all
you know,
business. Almost.
it's
It's
exactly.
literally like, oh shit.
Like I think recently I saw like a little meme or something of Pedro grabbing Taika Waititi during like a fucking interview and like pretend like fucking ripping his head off or something, and then Taika fainted and just stayed on the red carpet for like a minute on the floor, and
Yeah.
Pedro and him were just fucking around. I'm like, that's the type of vibe
That's
I
fun.
want to have with friends and like people I hang out with.
There's an interview that I saw that I really liked. It was with QC, and then basically they're just asking a bunch of questions that people
QC?
search.
Do you mean
Q-
GQ?
GQ?
That's what it
Bro,
was.
God
that
damn,
it's,
dude.
I'm
it's not
dyslexic.
long titles. It's just
I'm dyslexic. All right, guys.
I was like quality
You
control.
gotta be able to read to be dyslexic.
No, but the whole point that interview, it's basically like just people looking up shit on the internet about him. And one of the things was, you know how he's like ultra memeable. There's just a
Yeah.
bunch of
He
jokes.
is.
He embraces them, which is hilarious.
Weren't they
'cause,
calling him
like,
Daddy for a while?
Daddy, but yeah, that's what the interview was about. And basically, like he just kind of like plays into it, and
Yeah.
like he fucking loves it. And he's almost like, you could tell he's kind of like shy about it. He's like okay, that's kind of weird, but he's like fuck it, like it's funny. So you know, which is. It's kind of like you look at it and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, like he's humbled,
Yeah.
but he still embraces it.
So is
'cause
your
it's
answer Pedro as well?
like, dude?
Like
Pedro.
you
I said
you'd
Pedro
be-
first. Nick followed suit.
I did.
So
I
Is
also
that
did.
true?
What about you?
Mm.
You're gonna say Sydney Sweeney, you fucking dog.
No, I feel like I'd probably be like that over Willem Dafoe.
Really?
Creepy
oh
bastard.
yeah, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, he's
you know
one
they're
of,
friends, right?
Oh yeah, they are. They
Yeah,
are.
dude.
That's right.
Hey,
He's just one of my favorite actors,
get-
man. He's everything he's been in. It's always been good. Like no matter what.
But it
And
just-
actually, the next movie I'm gonna show you guys is gonna have Willem Dafoe in there.
Ooh.
Jeez.
And
Right.
it's
I mean-
gonna be a young Willem Dafoe.
Oh,
I thought it was gonna
not
be a
Lighthouse?
I thought it was
not,
gonna be a
not Lighthouse.
I was like,
No.
let's
Alexis
get weird with it.
loves
Let's
your
go.
scare shit.
Yeah, no.
Andre knows which one. Andre knows. Yeah.
Young
Yeah.
Willem
Young
Dafoe.
Willem.
Is it
Shit.
his I know he did a play that was recorded when he was younger where he showed his big fat cock. Is it that one?
It's not that one.
Oh, well
It's
then I
not
don't want to
that
watch
one.
it.
We're,
We
like,
don't
we're,
want
not,
it.
we're not interested.
No, that's we're watching that offline.
Scratch
Okay.
it off the list.
Isaac.
Me, it's Cillian Murphy.
Oh, kill him.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like you
man.
just get secondhand fucking cancer at that point.
Dude, I have loved him so much. In
I
Peaky
watched all
Blinders.
of Peaky Blinders. He
Dude,
was,
I love
he was
it.
phenomenal.
Yeah, like he's great.
Fucking
But-
terrible father, terrible brother, but phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was good at Scarecrow too in the Batman movies.
Yeah, honestly,
yeah.
underrated.
And
And
28
He was
days
good.
later,
I'm surprised he didn't put him as the Batman. I mean, there was like
I think he
they
auditioned.
did some screen testing.
I think
with-
he's
with
too
him.
skinny.
Yeah.
He's too lean. And like, I mean, yeah, could he put on weight? Because I mean, oh, actually,
mean,
you know what?
Christian
The
Bale.
Machinist, yeah.
But
Christopher
Christian Bale
Nolan
looks
just
good,
loves
He does,
Killian though. He's just like, I'll put him in anything, whatever
Yeah.
he wants.
Yeah.
yeah, no, Cillian Murphy's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, but I think the thing for those, and the reason why I'm choosing Pedro with George here is, like, it's the same thing you can argue Nick Cage. Nick Cage is fucking awesome. All his movies are great. I love Nick Cage, but I don't think I could stand in a room with Nick Cage
I think
and
it'd
not
be a
like
lot.
not fucking be like, okay, Jesus Christ, like, all right, bro, I get it. You're Nick Cage. Yeah, like,
Mhm.
and I feel like it could be that way a little bit with Willem Dafoe
Do you think he's just
on
like
a
one of
higher like
No,
intellectual
'cause
level.
I mean, I
Yeah.
was at a Q&A where he was moderating and stuff, and he seemed like a really like chill, kind of down to earth guy. You know, like very very affable and just like super friendly. So
Nice.
yeah,
Do you think
That's
Killian
true.
would be that way?
I think honestly, I've seen interviews with Killian. He really looks like a genuinely cool dude.
yeah,
Like
he does seem cool.
Like,
He's got a very like
He-
interesting accent, which is crazy. It throws me
It's
off every
Irish,
single
right?
time.
yeah, something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's Irish.
He's Irish.
Yeah.
With Murphy, yeah, it would be.
But yeah, I mean,
All right. Well, let's get back to it, and then we can
Um,
probably go over.
you want to go over some favorite scenes?
Yeah, favorite scenes. I mean, I'll start hands down. It's gotta be the scene that they're shrooming. It's the best.
The
It's
acid
just
trip?
like, yeah. I mean, Oh yeah, it was acid. It wasn't shrooms. Huh?
Jesus Christ.
Well,
George.
I'm
Did
sorry.
you
We had a
watch-
conversation about this during the thing. That
No,
you're like,
you had a
acid,
conversation. You're
and
like,
then you
somebody
said
told me
shrooms.
that your stomach is gonna hurt in acid. I'm like, have you ever taken acid? And you're like, no, but I
No,
think
it was
No,
mushrooms.
that
It
was
was
that
mushrooms.
was Nick, and
I
he
said
said that
mushrooms.
mushrooms would hurt your stomach or
And
like
then
mess
George
it up.
incriminated himself.
Yeah.
The statute of limitation does it stand?
Yeah, it was yesterday. But anyway, I agree with you. Fucking, I hate that you chose that. But I'll get more specific. I love them fucking arguing and like crying over like whether or not he's gonna leave Javi behind. He's like, no, you have to come up here. And he's like,
They're
you
on the
have
wall.
to drop me. And then they just like have that moment where he's breaking down, and then Javi's just like,
Oh, hey, I'm over
and the
here.
way, and he addresses him as Mr. Cage, like he's still like super like shy about. He's like, you're having your moment. I don't know if you're like pretending or if like you're real. But, like, it's so funny. What about you,
Yeah.
Alexis?
No, it'd be the same as you.
No,
Yeah.
my favorite was when Nick Cage finally goes into the room and he sees a statue of himself. He's like, "How much did you pay for this
Oh, yeah,
grotesque
6,000.
6,000. I'll give you 20." Even though his dick knows he doesn't
hates
have
it,
any.
but he's like, I need it. I need
he's
it.
like, I don't have any fucking money, dude.
I don't care, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Another one too, the great like when they finally open up to each other a little bit and they start having like that bromance develop of like talking about like favorite movies, and he's like, oh my god, like you love like the Cabinet of Dr. Cagliari or whatever it is,
Caligari and something
yeah.
like that.
and
Calamari.
Calamari. Yeah.
Calamari.
we don't, yeah, we're not, we don't give a fuck. Anyway,
Say it, Nick.
we're not
What
Nick
is
Cage.
What is the title,
Oh,
Nick?
and
Say
now-
the full.
Oh yeah, no,
title.
you were talking
You're
shit.
like, oh,
Say the
you're
title.
You're dyslexic. Yeah, here's the difference. This is the actual movie we watched, and I can say it. But the Paddington 2 shit was also silly and stupid, and just like watching them fucking cry and stuff like that. That was good.
No.
And another callback at the end with that was funny too.
Yeah.
Even though I get it, it was predictable.
All right, Alexis. Should we get the letterbox?
Well, all right. Let's see what our letterbox friends have to say about this film. There we go.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
my
There's Gator.
boy. All right, this one's by Louis Wetton. 2.5 star. The two redeemable things about this film was the LSD scene and all the shirts Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal wore.
Wow.
2.5.
Pedro did have some sick fucking suits.
The wardrobe in this film
Yeah,
was
wardrobe
great,
was
actually.
sick,
Yeah,
Remember
that one green suit.
Oh
That
yeah.
green suit.
No, that
But
was
I-
fantastic.
I think it's stupid to say that that's the only redeemable things. I think they're just the bromance, like we talked about. Put that up in front of everything else, side characters, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would have been phenomenal.
Yeah, I think the dynamic could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely feel like Pedro Pascal's character was there, but Nick Cage's was just not like.
Yeah, I
It
just
didn't
wish-
feel as genuine with Pedro together.
like
So-
I felt like again Nick should have just played himself instead of trying to play himself as a normal person.
Right.
And if Pedro would have kept doing what he was doing, it'd been fine.
Mm-hmm. But I do feel that 2.5 might be too low. But hey, you know what?
That's how you felt.
They pointed out two good things,
Yeah.
and I gotta give them that. All right, this one's by JG0123, 4.5 stars. Oh, this is a lot. A self-aware character piece turned thriller that rides well on Cage's front running while still making each of the main characters well thought out to the point where I care what happens to them, especially after the plot twist. I'm gonna skip some shit. Hot Fuzz and 21 Jump Street vibes. AKA, how did we get to this point? What the fuck is happening vibes?
Oh,
4.5.
okay. No, I
4.5.
agree with the whole 21 Jump Street thing. I don't think that it's like Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum like level dynamic, but it's definitely that same kind of vibe. I feel it for
I
sure.
don't feel it, man.
I mean, it's kind of like
It's not up there with it. But
it's
I
not
see-
it's
I
not
feel
a
the
buddy
vibe.
cop, but it's just a buddy.
It's just a buddy film.
Buddy film.
It's more like a fucking that movie with Paul Rudd and the guy from How I Met Your Mother, the tall guy.
Oh, fucking was it Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
No.
right? Oh no, it was it's Slapping the Bass.
Slapping the bass. That's kind of I have
Slapping
I
the
feel like that's
Bass.
kind of what that movie was to me.
I remember
But that
thing,
one's
but I don't know
better,
where
though.
that's from.
You know what I'm talking
That's a
about?
good movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I really like that
Yeah.
one. All right, so that's 4.5 stars.
Thank you for that review.
Yeah. All right, this one's by Daniel Georgie, 5 stars. Dang,
Oh,
5 stars. Oh, you're gonna hate
I
this
think
guy's
is-
review.
This is honestly.
I'm right
like-
there. I'm right there with
All right.
him. I don't know.
Incredibly hilarious, intelligently written, and all-around stellar performance from everyone involved. I had fun for the entire movie. Also, Pedro Pascal has bisexual energy with every male co-star, and I love it. Blonde, imaginary Nick Cage and the acid scene got this movie 5 stars easily. This movie is a culmination of everything Nick Cage November is all about. 5 stars.
Oh, did this guy fucking... was he part of the film? Like, did he help?
It's Nick Cage.
He was on the
It's Nick Cage undercover.
He just like, I want to make sure that everybody knows that Pedro wanted to fuck me. Bisexual vibes were crazy.
That's funny.
It definitely... I think Pedro does do that really well. Especially because, like, that whole... I don't know if you ever saw that thing with him and Willem Dafoe.
Yeah,
It's
we talked about it earlier.
It's a weird
Here's
chemistry
the
they have
fucking
going
Mount
on.
Rushmore of that. At least 3 of them. Maybe you can fill the 4th one. Willem Dafoe, Pedro, and then I think Tom Hiddleston. My girlfriend loves Tom Hiddleston over every single other person in fucking
Really?
Marvel because he's the one who actually embodies feminine energy and masculine energy together.
He's got no lips though.
Yeah, but I think I agree with that
He
because
plays
it's
a
like
witch too. So.
like every time you watch fucking
He is handsome,
Thor
though. He is
or any of
handsome.
the other really handsome guys on there, they're way one dimensional. It's fucking.
Too much testosterone.
It's just all it is testosterone and like I have justice. And
Yeah.
it's like
He was
No,
good
I
as
agree
Loki.
with that.
He was good as Loki. All right, this is our last one by Adelnat. 4 stars. Never thought I would see Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal's homoerotic homies in a movie, but I love it. Also didn't know Neil Patrick was there. I jumped a little. There it is. There it is. Those
Yeah,
are those
I
are
totally
the
forgot Neil
reviews from our
Patrick was there.
Letterboxd friends.
That's I'm surprised at how many
Yeah.
people actually like gave it some pretty decent ratings.
Yeah, it was
like,
decent
there was
ratings.
only 1 2-star that we got in there. So
Yeah, I mean, I got an average of 3.4 on Letterboxd, so it's like average.
Yeah,
You know,
I think you might like it.
you may or may not.
honestly, literally, it's right where
Yeah.
you put it.
Not as bad as Master of Disguise. That's
But that's a
universally panned.
That's a masterpiece though.
It is a
Yeah.
masterpiece.
everybody
One
hated
day
it,
people
but,
will
yeah.
understand.
One day. You know,
They're not
It'll
there
take
yet.
some time.
There's a
It'll take
community.
They're uncouth,
on my
you know?
3rd watch, I'll be like,
I
all right,
agree.
I'm turning a new leaf, guys.
Yeah.
because you
Exactly.
weren't on those mushrooms that time.
Or were you guys all just?
Well, all right, boys, that was it for Letterboxd. So
All right, well, let's start with
here
the
comes.
reviews.
Here it comes.
I mean,
let's make it-
we'll
let's
leave
make
you
it
for
quick.
Last. We'll leave you last, Gator, because
Let's not ramble.
Yeah.
Let's
All
not
right,
ramble.
go ahead, Nick. What'd you think?
All right,
Give us to us straight.
Like I said, this movie probably would have been an 8 or
Or-
9. It would have been.
We're talking about no rambling, and you're going into a ramble. We just want to score, buddy.
All right, so like I was saying,
God damn
this
it!
movie would have
Let
been
the
like
man
a-
talk. All right, give us
Thi-
that bisexual energy, Nick. Let's go.
bro. I'm homosexual through and
Dude,
through.
the only thing bisexual than cheeks, okay?
It's the only part that needs to be. So, like I said, original watch 8 or 9, theaters and everything else. This time, I think it's a 7.5.
Okay.
Solid movie. Loved
Yeah.
it.
Lex,
Yeah.
what's your rating?
6.5. I'd like to see it, but it's not something that stays in my memory, and it is what it is. It's a
Yeah.
good movie. It's decent. That's it.
I just wish Alexis would look at me the way that Pedro looks at Nick Cage. That's all I gotta say.
He looks at
if
me
I
that way.
if I ever find the relationship that Pedro has with Nick, with you guys, that's all I need. That's all I need, baby.
Nick Cage. Sorry, I thought you were talking about this Nick.
Nick too. Nick specifically. 6.5. I liked it.
6.5.
I liked it a lot.
I'm at a solid 5. Like,
Okay.
as we talked
Dang.
about it,
Bro, how did it go down? You started
We
at
convinced
6.
them
What the
to
fuck?
hate it even more.
I know, what the? We were trying to skew your perspective, and it got lower.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because I'm like,
What did we say that made it lower?
the fact that you guys rewatched it and it didn't held up, like again.
Yeah, but there's some movies that you just watch once and you're like, hey, that was fine.
And if-
That was good.
yeah,
and that's it.
If you've noticed, the movies that I have usually typically getting a worse score to are movies that I can't rewatch. Like
that's true.
I am,
That's true.
because if I can't rewatch a movie, then that's not fun. It's like if I'm not gonna get that same gag effect that I did the first, like, dude, fucking
He's rambling, boys. He's
rambling.
rambling.
Ricky Bobby, man.
Cut him off. Cut him off.
Watch it. But all right, well, that was 4 guys.
Wait. So I guess on average we gave it a 6.4.
Yeah.
So we'll give it a 3 stars
Yeah.
on Letterboxd.
All right. Well, I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
We're right there with
Fair
Letterboxd,
assessment.
man.
We're there. We're
I wish we
finally
would have
on
loved
it.
it more. Personally, I liked it the first time around. For some reason, it just
It's the
hit-
movie theater
it didn't
experience
hit
for
as
us.
well the
you know.
second time.
Yeah,
Hey, but
that's
this is
always
what we
gonna
do.
factor.
Sometimes we watch good movies. Sometimes
No,
it
and I
falls
don't, like I
flat.
said,
Nah,
This
that's-
isn't a bad movie.
I don't think any of this, even our rating, even Isaac's rating, is to say this is a bad movie. I think this is just a movie that,
I think it either hits or it doesn't. with you,
yeah,
you know?
depending, and it's not just like, oh, it's bad or it's good. It's depending on your
Yeah.
mood, depending on
Yeah.
your factors.
Maybe if we saw this on a Saturday, would have
Yeah.
been a different rating.
Saturdays with some, good foods, good vibes.
Yeah.
Everybody's more
Some
relaxed.
barbecue.
Nobody's on
Not
work.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Nah,
Booty shorts.
Don't forget the
I don't know.
sauces.
Pool.
Right. Don't forget the
Mm.
buffalo sauce.
yeah.
All right, guys. This has been 4 guys.
One film.
Catch us on all platforms: TikTok, social media, everywhere.